everyone, it's Kelly here with Best of Denton County and our next episode of What's Up Denton County. And today we are here at Family Hearing Practice located in Flower Mound. And I'm here with the lovely owner of this practice, Dr. Allison Liberio. And we wanted to come live to you. Well, first of all, you just recently won Best of Denton County, so congratulations. And it was Best Audiology Practice, so your whole practice won. That's a big coup, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And we wanted to talk to you because we think that, that what you do is something that not everyone knows about. You don't really know a whole lot about your industry until you're kind of in need of the service. But it's a growing industry with that, and so many people moving into the county. We just thought it would be great to kind of get them to learn more about you and your practice and just what's going on in the world of hearing loss.
Yeah.
So first of all, just tell me how you got started in this. How did you decide to be a hearing doctor?
Yeah, so hearing loss is something that runs in my family. So I've known about it since I was a child, and when I decided, looking into what I want to do for a living, I wanted to work in the medical field because I love to help people. So hearing loss is something that's kind of close to me. It's something that's genetic, so I figured, well, I'm probably gonna, need hearing aids eventually. So I wanted it to be something that I understood and could help people through that.
Right, that's awesome. And you had mentioned, obviously, with your family, it's more genetic, but, there's a lot of people out there that may not even have a history or a family history of hearing loss, but, are experiencing hearing loss because of, outside circumstance. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so typically hearing loss, we say is due to aging, but we're finding that it's not necessarily an aging issue, but could be noise exposure or history of noise exposure over your lifetime. People who work in jobs that are loud or around things that are loud cars, loud music, stuff like that. So we're seeing a younger population really needing hearing aids, as well as our aging population becomes more of an issue. But genetics play a factor in that as well. Noise exposure, medications can play a factor in that. And so, we're seeing that, it's not your stereotypical patient.
Right. And I think that's something that's important for people to understand, because there's a lot of probably fear, as you're getting older and you have hearing loss, you associate it with old age. And that's really not the case now. I mean, younger and younger are people having this, especially I would guess, you have headsets, we're constantly putting stuff in our ears and listening to them really close, of course, loud music, just working it, like you said, in different environments with that. So I'm guessing it's probably important to let people know it's not, it's not uncool to come in, and it's better to catch it early. Is that correct in saying?
Yeah, so we're finding that most people are starting to experience hearing loss in maybe their late 40s, early 50s. And I think it is kind of a hesitation of like, does this mean I'm getting old? But hearing aids are really made for people in that age range. Okay. They're made for people who are active, who are working, who are in restaurants, stuff like that. Because the sooner you get the help that you need, the better your brain responds to that. And the longer you go without hearing, the harder it is for you to kind of gear back up to that. And so the sooner we catch a hearing loss, and the sooner we can get that brain activated and hearing and, processing, all that cognitive stuff, the better that they're going to do. So we kind of, they design them, they market them, they put features in there that are appealing to the younger generation.
I have to say, if you guys have not checked out hearing aids lately, probably haven't, they are cool.
Yeah.
Now, they are not what I remember like my grandpa wearing. They have Bluetooth in them. You can listen to your music. You can be on one side of the couch and listen to a TV volume louder than your spouse. I mean, it just so much more than just helping you hear a regular conversation. So.
Well, we're always connected to stuff. And, we've always got music playing or watching videos or connecting with family and stuff like that. So we want you to stay connected. We want you to be able to hear those things. And not only are you streaming directly, so you don't have to get your earbuds out, but the hearing aids adapt for your hearing loss. So it sounds better. And so those are kinds of things that we enjoy doing with our working clientele,
Yeah.
or people who need to take phone calls during the middle of the day, or who are watching webinars, or
Right.
doing conference calls, stuff like that, keeping them connected
Yeah.
to all their stuff and all their people.
Right. Well, and that's important now that people are so much younger with that, or even people that are in their 50s and 60s, because people are staying, you know, in work and in the corporate environment much longer. So to have that ability to you know, kind of stay on there seamlessly must be amazing. Tell me how, because I know that you also do newborn hearing screenings here, but how often should someone, you know, I guess come in to get a hearing test?
Yeah, so we always do newborn hearing screening. That's something that they do at the hospitals, but sometimes they elect not to do it in the hospital, or they have a baby at home, and so we always want to screen a newborn child to make sure that they're not born with a hearing loss. And then really as far as their development goes, we don't really test again. We'll screen them at school and stuff like that, so we hope that there's no hearing loss. When people turn 50 is really when we start saying, okay, it might be a good idea to get a baseline.
Yeah, because you may not know if you're
and
not
then
hearing
every
well.
5 years after that, assuming there's no issues. But if there is an issue, then we do want to start with
Kind of coming in and
I've
just...
noticed I don't hear this or that or the other. We want to get a hearing test on that.
And so if someone's coming in for a hearing test the first time, what happens? Do you kind of do a test, or is there some kind of, you know, onboarding with them?
We do a whole hearing test and kind of assess and make sure everything looks okay. And then kind of get a baseline and say, okay, this is where you're hearing that, whether there's an issue or not, and then we can kind of go from there. And some people just want to know, okay, I can hear well.
Right. Well, and sometimes you don't, I'm thinking it's something that you don't know. You might think you're not hearing as well, but you're not 100% sure. So it's probably peace of mind to come in and get screened and figure out, okay, I'm fine. Or to have a baseline so in the future you can kind of figure out, you know, what kind of loss that is.
And sometimes we say you don't know what you can't hear because you can't hear it. So sometimes you don't even know.
Right.
I didn't know I was supposed to be hearing that.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they say, you know, I thought that was normal. You know, I thought, you know, as I got older, not hearing well was normal.
Yeah.
Well, it might be typical, but that's not normal.
Right.
We want you to hear well. If it's there, you should hear it.
Yeah.
And so kind of walking them through that process of, you didn't know you weren't hearing these things because you didn't hear them.
Right, exactly. You don't know kind of what you can't hear out there. So the other thing we wanted to do before we finish up is we always like you guys out there to have some kind of giveaway. So we are going to, for everyone that comments below, you can comment more than once or share it. We are going to do a fun draw, and many of you may not need hearing aids, or they're not hearing aids, but they have this lovely gift basket, or a gift basket like this, and it is coffee and chocolate.
The two best things.
Yeah, I mean, come on, who wouldn't want coffee and chocolate here? And I'm gonna make you pick a number.
Okay.
Between 1 and 50. And that number that you pick, whatever number the comment is, so if you are pick a number.
43.
43. So the 43rd person or 43rd comment will win this lovely basket here. And again, it is filled with chocolate and coffee. So I'm pretty excited. Don't mind me if I comment in the comments as well. Is there anything we haven't touched on in your practice? I know you guys are growing. You brought on a new doctor. That's really exciting. Is there anything you want us to talk about that they may not be aware of?
Sure. I think right now there's changes in the industry and even in the medical field, and it gets a little confusing about where we should buy hearing aids, or you know, because it becomes kind of like a commodity. And you could buy them on the internet, and you can go to the doctor's office. So what are the benefits? Well, a hearing aid is just a device, and it has to be programmed to your hearing. And so it's very important that you realize that your hearing aid only works as well as the person who programs it to work. So be cautious when you're out shopping for hearing aids, that a device is a device, but it only works as well as it's set to work. And so I caution people as they're shopping and looking at options and pricing and this and that and the other, that there are a lot of things out there. there are a lot of things that are called hearing aids that aren't. There's a lot of things that kind of work around systems and stuff like that. So you really want to see a professional, get an idea of what's going on, what the health concerns are with your ears. Something could be going on.
I was going to say, and if I would think
condition.
with you have, if you get the wrong kind of technology, that can do more damage
really
than good.
It really can. So you want to see a doctor.
Yeah, I didn't realize that myself, that it's really more about the programming for it. So
you want to make sure that you're well taken care of, because so many people end up putting their hearing aids in a drawer because they never really worked. And so we want to make sure that you're well cared for during the process.
Yes.
Because it's a process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Learning to hear better is a process.
And you can, over time, you're going to need someone who can adjust that based on kind of what's still going on in with your health and your needs with that. Now, you guys also do a lot of health fairs throughout Denton County.
Yes.
So for you guys out there that are watching, probably the best place, tell me the best place to connect with you. Is it your Facebook, your website for some of those community events?
Yeah, our Facebook is updated with our events, so you can kind of figure out where we're going to be.
Right.
We try and get to some of the health fairs in the area and get out of the office and meet the people.
Go deliver these baskets.
Yes, exactly. So we really enjoy getting out in the community.
That's great. So again, if you guys want more information, always go to their Facebook page, their website. You can connect with Allison and her practice here. Yep. And we are so excited. Again, congratulations on winning Best of Denton County, for all the growth that's coming to the area. And you're just so easy to talk to. So I think that's an important part with a doctor, because you need to feel comfortable so you can ask all those questions with that. So we appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thanks so much, Denton County.